this video, we will show you the basics of how to install the sliding table and other components for the SCM MINIMAX SI315ES. It is recommended that you have an assistant to help you. You'll want to uncrate everything and lay out your parts around the machine, familiarizing yourself with what they are for and where they will go. Naturally, clean anything that has cosmoline on it. The first thing you'll want to install is the sliding table. The sliding table is calibrated and set at the factory, and then pinned, since it is then uninstalled and shipped in its own crate. Stage the sliding table next to the saw and a couple of shop horses. From there, it is easier to lift up and then lower it gently into place. All you need to do is make sure those pins seat in the slot on the underside so you go right back to the factory settings. Once you have the slider in place, you will want to install a washer and nut at each leveling point. On this saw, there are 4 of them. The front and back ones are accessed through a cutout in the steel cabinet. There are black covers that snap into place when you are done to keep them concealed. All of our machines come with the tools you need to install every part. Next, you will want to install the outfeed table. This table needs no legs and is leveled by using the grub screws located beneath the main bolts. Once it is leveled the way you like it, you cinch the nuts to hold the setting. The rip side support table does use a leg to help with support and leveling. Install the leg first, and then you and your assistant can hold it in place while it is initially bolted into place. For fine-tuning it, I like to use the long squaring fence extrusion as a simple straight edge to help set the table level to the cast iron surface. Next, you will want to install the rip fence scale. For now, you can use a simple rule to get it close to the 0 setting. You don't need to worry about being too precise, as you will fine-tune this later when you do your test cuts. The scale slides inside its housing, and there is a knob located approximately below the ½ mark that holds the scale in place. Loosening this knob allows you to fine-tune the scale. After you install the scale, you install the rip fence bar. Loosen all its hardware and mark the location of where the washers go. Hint: the ones on the cast iron side are spacers, which are more precise than standard cut washers. It is best that you keep these where they belong so you can return to the factory settings. Once you have it set in place, install the fence knuckle by removing the safety stop bolt on the end of the bar and then sliding the knuckle onto the bar and installing the fence itself. Then tighten things up while checking for square. Once you are satisfied with the rip fence, you can adjust the rack for the micro adjust knob. Loosen all the nuts. Go near the 0 end, pull the rack out so that it meshes with the pinion gear of the knob, then tighten that point. Then head to the other end and do the same. Once the 2 outer points are set, you should be able to cinch up all the interior points, then double check that the rack meshes the whole way. Then reinstall the safety stop bolt. Now it is time to install the squaring frame, or outrigger as it is also called. Once the mount bar is slid into the side slot, the outrigger drops in between the 2 spacers that are held apart by springs. Make sure the black composite gibs rest on the lower slot ledge. These are used to align the height of the outrigger with the surface of the slider. You can now install your squaring fence by dropping the pins into their spots. The pin on the far end goes into a slot which allows for fine-tuning the square adjustment. The steel face of the knob rests against an adjustment bolt so the fence can return to square every time it is moved and returned to 0. Then install your flip stops and you are good to go. The last things you need to do are install a blade and the blade guard. The blade guard attaches directly to the riving knife. Thank you for watching. You are now ready to start cutting with your new sliding table saw.